From growing up as a child, I was never comfortable with myself. I felt there was something missing. Quite good at school, I was into sport. I wanted to follow my dad's footsteps, and I got married at 18. I had 3 beautiful kids by the time I was 23. Started making money. I was always a bit of a ducker and diver, and that led me, the progression led me to eventually taking cocaine, and it just progressed. Once the addiction gets you and you have this illness that you can't stop, you know, nothing can happen that will make you stop. The more I used, the less fear I had. I put myself in dangerous situations. I didn't even think about my kids. Darkness that was overcoming, it's like a dark cloud. It was overcoming me, it was over me, you know, and I was in a dark place. In the morning, I'd wear a suit, people wouldn't even imagine that I was a crack addict. I was playing the dad. My young daughter now, Maria, is 5 years old. At the time when I left, she never really saw her father. I'd tried to pay. Anytime I got money, I'd treat them, this, that and the other, but it wasn't being a father. I was trying to justify my using. So in time, you know, I went to different countries trying to run away. Part of my mind was, they're better off without me, leave them, their mum's all right, let them bring them up, but they were missing their dad. So the pain and trauma I was causing them, without realising at the time. My mum and dad, I put them through hell as well. No one trusted me, you know, I wasn't really part of anything with them. Everyone was scared, they didn't know how to deal with me, no one knew. My ex-wife, I blamed everything on her. Any boyfriend she had, I'd beat them up or smash the cars up or whatever it was. I'd use my son as a decoy, for example, to go and do a drug deal. You know, I'd go, my daughter would come over to Cyprus, my little one, and I'd go out and leave her there in the room, for example, and do what I was doing. I'd get angry in front of the kids, smash things up, get baseball bat, hit the wall, put them in danger, you know, in the mind. And I just left, and that's when the downfall started, when I left. I'm in America. I made about £30,000 in about 2 months, 3 months. I phoned them up and said, get on a plane, I'm going to book you first class tickets, get on a plane, we're going to go to Cyprus, first class hotel. I'll get a plane from America to Heathrow, meet you there. I felt great, I've got my kids, at least I can do something nice. But before I went on the plane, I phoned Cyprus, I got an ounce of cocaine waiting for me at the airport. That night we had dinner, everyone's tired from an early start, and at about 8 o'clock in the restaurant in the hotel, and then they all went to bed early. I said, right, good night guys, see you in the morning by the pool. I went and scored. I went and got a lady and smoked crack that night. Got her out of the room by 4 or 5 in the morning, and they didn't know. By then they didn't know. But then 3 days later, I'm sitting by the pool, it's 3 o'clock, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to go and smoke a bit. A couple of hours, no one would know. And we're going for dinner at 8 o'clock, because we did that every night. And my daughter knocked on the door, I think it was about 7:30. Dad, I couldn't move because I was just running out and I couldn't move. I'm supposed to be meeting my children. My brother was over with his girls, yeah? And we're going out for dinner, and they're knocking on the room, and I'm not, babe, because I can't move. They caught me. Black hands, naked, they caught me. How do you think they felt? I had everything, I had my kids, I was clean. You know, why? But it's this illness, the obsession, the insanity of the drug. It pulls you, and I couldn't resist it. And that, again, another incident where the kids drifted apart. I hurt them. My daughter had brain tumour. She was 30 years old. She had a young son, 5 years old. I'm in the heart of my addiction. I'm in the, you know, it's constantly using every day of my life. All addicts use excuses, so I needed an excuse to use. This was the best excuse. No one could tell me, you've got to stop. And I would answer, if they did, you try and live with knowing your daughter's going to die. It gets me away from the reality of the situation, you know? At that time, that was my solution, but it wasn't, because it put me deeper and deeper in despair. I wasn't strong enough to be there for my child. I could not stop using. That was when I hit rock bottom. That was when I didn't want to live anymore. That was when I thought, if there's a God up there, why not me? I wanted to die, so take me, man. Not my little princess, you know? Why can't I just be there for her and stop and be there for my present family, my children, my ex-wife and my mum and dad and my brothers, my sister and everybody else, but I just couldn't do it. So when she died, that was it. 6 months later, I nearly died myself, couldn't manage it. That's when I changed my life. That was the time when the light bulb hit me and enough was enough. And whether it's her, I believe it's her coming on my shoulder and switching on that light in my head. Dad, you've got to do something. You've got to give back. You've got to help people. That's what you're here for. And that was my turning point. It was a process the first year to get control of my life again, get the choice again back in my mind. And obviously I'm thinking, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? My goal wasn't money anymore and materialistic things, material things. I wanted to be the best dad I could, and I actually wanted to, I had to decide that I felt that there's a reason why I ended up here. There's a reason why Helen died. And the only way I can make amends to my daughter Helen and to my family is to give back and try and make a difference in people's lives. So that was my goal. I took the route of education and that was the best decision I made. The first year, challenges of thinking whether I can do it or not, the doubt, even not having really support with my family because they thought, here's another thing he's trying. So no one trusted me still. So I was very alone. Then I met Janet through the Helen Kennedy Foundation, winning a scholarship. And with her personality, her character, she was very easy to talk to. And actually, she became my counsellor, especially in the first year, if you like. I'd open up my stresses, my anxieties. If I was struggling with a paper or whatever, she'd support me. She listened, she helped me, she nurtured me academically, she guided me through the process.
Andy stuck out to me because everybody else had written pages and pages, you know, really had support to be able to put those together. Andy had written a paragraph that was very honest and very raw, but that spoke to me in terms of, I think you actually do need a mentor, and this is really something that you would benefit from. And everybody else has obviously got somebody that they could turn to for help. So that was the first time I was introduced to him. We started having regular mentoring sessions, and it became very clear that here was a man who was super focused, intelligent, needed to succeed and achieve in what he'd done, and had been very successful and was looking to find a way to be successful again, and it mattered so much. So there was a lot of personal and professional pride that, despite the long history of addiction, was still driving him forward, and that motivation and that passion was something that I thought, okay, so we need to channel that somehow through education.
To achieve the ultimate goal that I set myself, it was the culmination of all those years of pain. I was very proud, and the family, obviously they were so proud, and I knew that Helen would be proud of me as well. I wish she was, obviously sadness is she wasn't there at my graduation, but listen, I know she's watching, so yeah. So I saw this advert and Perry saw my CV and that, he called me, and I came that day. He called me, he said, do you want to come for an interview, come into Luton? And I thought I'm going to take a chance. So anyway, I got here as a counsellor. About 3 months later, he wanted me to be manager. I won't be a manager that sits in my office. I have to be involved with the patients. I want this to be the best rehab in the UK. And that means that we get the most people in here clean and sober, that we have a great percentage where people have got their lives back. It helps a lot of people. It's just given me a platform to put my personality in here. It's a lot of pressure on me, a lot of responsibility, but I love it.
His stories were raw, and sometimes you think, it's not, I'm not that bad, but somebody's as bad as me. You know, somebody has lived it, somebody's been there, somebody's got through it. It was very, very important, because then it's very believable and very doable if you want to do it. In here gave me the want to do it, and the will to do it, and the tools to do it with. It was one of the best experiences of my life, and it's got me to where I am today, able to talk about it and be here today, fresh, clean and sober.
His previous life, he's taking that experience and sharing it, and it can be quite harsh to hear some of the things he's been up to, and you think, oh, I've never got to that point. And you think, how would I have felt? And how has he stood there doing that now?
My life became severely unmanageable to the extent where I had 3 convictions, was really in trouble with the police, social services involved, and completely just lost myself. I needed the correct guidance to get back on track, to be honest. When Andy told us his story, I resonated with it. I related to the fact that he felt lost and broken. And for him to be in the place that he is now, that gave me hope to know that I can change.
I'm very passionate about saving lives. I've got a passion for people who are living in a similar experience to I was living. That's why I care. I think everyone deserves a life, everyone deserves to be happy, and everyone deserves a family. So that's why I care. I want to make a difference.